So here we go. Let's go see Matt for the next episode as we try and fire up the 928 motor. I don't know why I'm so strangely excited about firing up a 928 motor, particularly when it's meant to be an electric vehicle project, but I am. What do you reckon?
Sounds alright.
My bribe, my daily bribe.
Yeah,
now give me 8 hours of labour in exchange for one coffee. Oh, and bacon egg roll with sweet chilli sauce. Hey Matt, I think you might have just discovered why we're dragging 160 milliamps for no reason.
We have, yes.
I couldn't find it out there in the bright sun.
We've seen it now.
I wonder what it could possibly be.
It certainly does.
Okay, I've been warned that they can stick easily. Okay, now the fuel lines.
Fuel lines, so we need to...
I believe this is the feed.
Yep.
And that's the return. I don't know though. That one? That's the feed in?
Yep, that's the...
And the other one's the feed back. That's the return.
Return, yeah.
So the feed in's the lower one of the two.
It's, so here we go. Okay, look at that. There's the piston. There's the reliefs for the valves. That ball looks good.
Bit of corrosion there around the seats.
Yeah, there's a bit of
the green speckling.
It could actually be carbon buildup from when it was running.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the ball looks good. You can still see our shine from our oil.
Mm.
We can try and go in a bit closer. There's obviously the bottom of the ball where the oil, and there's a bit of particles in there from carbon, whatnot. Looks pretty good.
Mm.
We'll sink it down another one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
You're going to turn that by hand?
We might be able to. I'll give it a
Mate,
try.
I can give it a quick crank. The battery's on, so.
Yeah.
Mate, if you can turn a 928 motor by hand, even with no plugs in it, you're a stronger man than I am.
I moved a tiny bit then, but yeah, a bit too tight.
I'll just give it a kick.
Yep.
Just a little?
Just a little, yep. Give it. Yep.
And again?
Go again, yeah. Okay, stop there. That's good. We can see heaps of the bore now. And I could hear the spark plug sparking as well. Mm. It's good. So now we can sort of have this bore looks good as well. The piston looks consistent. See how it's almost in the middle as well, the corrosion there. Sort of that sort of...
Yep, between the seats.
Between the seats, yeah, sort of where the valve reliefs are. So that's probably just how they run, the carbon that builds up naturally. Mm. So yeah.
Okay. First look under the car, Matt. This could be a bit ugly.
Could be good. We could be laughing, could be crying.
When they painted it, they didn't prep the body properly, but they also used way too much paint. If you look along here, you can see actual paint runs. The paint's been dripping down. So it's been put on way too thickly.
Yeah.
Wake up, guys, wake up.
Yeah.
It's reasonably straight. A little kink at the top.
Kink at the top.
I don't think that's the way they came from the factory. Drive shafts?
The colour they are.
Yeah, don't know. And look at this. See these? Look, the boots look new.
Yeah.
Oh, a manual gearbox. Torque tube, selector there. This will be to the auto tranny. I'm guessing that's going to the auto transmission cooler, and the auto tranny doesn't exist anymore.
I'd say so.
Okay, under the motor, what have we got? It's dry. Yeah.
It's good to see it rubbing on the steering knuckle. You land on that, that'll just grind away.
How good is that?
Yeah.
And it's just sitting there rubbing on the steering knuckle. Nice. That's why you don't do your own manual gearbox conversion. That'll just sit there, and the steering, occasionally you'll go, oh, why is it a bit notchy?
My clutch is getting a bit soft.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden,
it's gone.
No clutch. And alternator, I thought maybe part of the leakage could have been these alternators, because these get oil seepage around here. They get very wet.
Yeah.
And then you get, but actually, sheesh, this all looks much better than I expected.
Yeah, it's all there and it's in good nick.
Have we got a deal for you?
See, look, the head looks surprisingly cleaner than the block.
And there's our spider again.
There's that spider hiding.
Hello, Stephen. But the boots look good.
Yeah.
We want this rack.
That's it.
Tie rod. I wonder what the ball joints are like. Ugh.
Some sort of
That's lava for aliens.
Yeah, that's right.
20 years later, it's still moving all by
there.
itself. Gee, there's a lot of surprisingly good things here. How are the belts looking?
Yeah.
Serviceable?
It's even got like the original brand belt on it, bought from Porsche.
Okay.
So it's actually not leaking really much. It's just a sweat everywhere, you know?
Yeah. Notice the air cooling for the alternator?
It's a good trick.
And these often, you know, they get really oil soaked, and there's no fuses on this, on this high current stuff that runs all the way to the back. So when these short around here, you can get bad things happen.
It doesn't look too out of shape, you know, because it goes straight up here to the rails, so that's what we want to see. We're just worried about a good chassis, really.
Okay.
We'll get some oil out of it.
Okay. Let's feel through it. Look at that beautiful shaft. What a travesty it is throwing out such beautiful oil.
But yeah, it's definitely I think that's got a magnet. Oh no, there's nothing on the bottom of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, doesn't look like there's water in there, which is exciting. You know, you just don't want to see moisture or coolant or. It looks like it's just oil, you know.
Well, give me another 8 litres of 20W50,
yeah,
please.
that's right.
Is there a part of you that's thinking, we should be just turning this back into a petrol car again?
That's it, keep it.
It's too good.
It's even got a genuine Porsche filter on it.
Yeah.
A little bit of like varnish, but looks pretty good, you know?
It does. Spotless.
Yeah.
With fresh oil and a fresh filter,
Yeah, definitely.
it'll be fine.
So this is
Different pitch.
Probably like...
That's going back in. I like it better anyway. It was clean.
Yeah, look, it's clean. We know it's not... There's no water or moisture in it.
No.
I dare say it's probably had a few hours on it, if that, of running. Maybe none.
How much did that cost?
Oh,
You're trying to rip me off.
$12, $13 or something.
You shonky.
Yeah.
Put that back in.
That's it. That's what we do here.
You don't normally inspect an oil filter like that and then put it back in. You just replace it. But they've sent us the wrong one, that it's way too small.
Yeah, so
and the thread's wrong as well. So from the look of that oil, it hasn't done any hours.
I don't think... Yeah, maybe a start or two. Who knows?
What you doing, buddy?
Putting some fuel in the new fuel tank.
Okay. 98 octane.
Correct.
Fuel pump relay. Needs both starter motor going to work and pulse to the spark plugs as well. Quite clever. But the contacts are corroded, so we are going to try the fuel pump in a little while, but for the moment we're just going to bypass it completely. Use our own fuel rig. So nothing more to do except refit the plugs, make sure I get the plug leads correct, top up the oil and check the coolant. Yep, radiator lines all full of coolant.
Air in.
Yep.
Through a regulator, so we can set this to 40 psi, 43 I think most modern cars run at. So we can wind it up just with our air pressure.
Yeah.
Dial it up, and yeah, it comes out, goes into the top, just a piece of exhaust tube I've welded together.
And does the fire extinguisher work?
Sure does. Sure does. Don't ask me how I know, but it does. And down here, we've just sort of just crimped it over the fuel line. It's got a lip so it can't blow off. And yeah, well, probably use a bit of starting fluid just to help if the, what's it called, the distributor head is corroded, it's never going to run. So this may be all wasted. Even if we get fuel to it, if the corrosion's there, it's not going to, we need to actually pull it off and remove it, which
It's not a job for us.
It's not a job for us, but if we can get it to run, as Stu said, awesome. And if it doesn't, well, it's not totally something we've done. It's just years of corrosion that's can't be avoided, you know.
Good news. If it does run, then we've got a saleable engine.
Absolutely.
And if it doesn't run, then we go, okay, fine. It validates our decision to turn it into an EV.
Absolutely.
All right.
So
I'm getting excited. Are you excited? You ready?
Yep.
Okay, ignition and cranking.
That's exciting. Okay. The throttle is stuck down, the throttle plate.
Is it?
So yeah.
Okay, so it's drawing a lot of air. Oh, it's got to come up, so it's getting.
Might come up by itself, but
it might take off.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm going to actually open the fuel tap here. There will be a little bit of air in the line, but when you're ready. Okay, so it's still down.
It coughed.
It coughed, so...
Yeah.
Alright, push that down.
Oh, it's coming back now.
Yeah, it's
It's a bit of lube or something.
Yeah, just
Because if it's stuck down, then it'll be way too lean. It'll be drawing way too much air.
Yeah.
Opening the injectors too much.
I'll hold it shut anyway, so where it is.
Okay.
Today's incarnation is brought to you by Start Your Bust, a Newline product.
Can you get this product in the United States? What do you call this product overseas, in the UK and the United States? I'd like to know. I bet you can't buy it by that name.
Start Your Bust.
Ready?
Ready, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so that was just running on this, which so I'll just put a bit more pressure. All the conditions there to run.
Yeah.
We just, you know, if, as I said, if that fuel head's no good or corroded. Okay, so
Nice work, mate. That sounds beautiful.
it runs. That's good.
That's one of the best sounding 928 motors I've heard. Quiet.
Quiet, that's right.
But it's evident it's not running on fuel. It's just running on the spray can ether. So maybe the fuel head is stuffed. Now, you people who are watching this who actually understand these systems will be looking, look at those two clowns, got no idea what they're doing. Just got to make sure we've got the right line. We were told one line. I think you've been misinformed, mate.
When in doubt, Google.
We were told fuel in was the bottom one.
Yeah.
By the expert.
Yep, that's it.
That's the inlet.
So we've...
And I mean, the inlet goes in the top.
Yeah.
And the return comes out the bottom.
Yep.
Does that kind of make sense? But that's the fuel return. The fuel in's there.
Yeah.
That line there, that's the one we should be on.
Yeah, which is the other one.
Oh, that's beautiful now. That's how they're meant to work. Got pressure, got fuel.
We can hear that going. It's just gone in. We've got nothing returning yet.
If you get the return line off, your fuel will come pouring out of there, won't it?
It will, yeah. We'll just keep an eye. We just want to see if is fuel getting through the system?
Yeah.
Is it corroded shut? Is the valve letting fuel in, you know?
Okay.
This is an indicator, go, oh, it's working, and then we'll address.
So yell, shut it off.
Shut it off, exactly. So just crank it and see what it does without the starter spray.
Okay.
It probably won't, but it's worth a...
Okay.
That's good news.
Holy smoke.
That's good news.
That was running on real fuel.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just put the fuel pressure up a bit more.
Okay.
It is low, I'm just sort of easing into it.
Yep. So Matt gradually increased the fuel pressure and we cranked the bugger a dozen times or more until I was stressing about the starter motor and the battery. But still no fuel seemed to be getting through.
Okay.
So we go back to the spray to give it a helping hand. I try giving it a bit of a bootful in the hope of blowing out any crap that's stuck in there. So it's running on, just on spray still?
That was just on spray, yeah.
Yep.
So we're getting some fuel in there from this, but they're behind those fuel delivery parts. We don't know what's happening. I'll just go a touch more.
Okay.
Okay, try that. Stu.
I'll give it a lot more.
Yeah.
Hey.
Not bad. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, it runs. We know the fuel system's there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, do you want to try that one more time, Stu?
Okay. Is it pumping as well?
That's a bit higher fuel pressure again.
Okay. Here we go. Ignition. Even though that's in neutral. Turn it off.
Do you want to just grab that rag there? Oh, it's alright.
Oh yeah. Have you got fuel to turn?
Yeah, it's starting to flow now.
Yeah, okay.
We've actually got flow, but just because I was blocking it, it's still running with it blocked.
Yep.
But it was just spraying in the manifolds down there.
Yes.
So
That would be bad.
that's it, it's shut. So now it's actually, we must have dislodged because it's flowing non-stop now.
Yep.
So a few revs.
Yep.
That actually idled happily by itself.
It did.
So, yeah.
Far out. 20 years.
Yeah, didn't actually take too much work.
No.
Did it?
No. Perfect.
Yeah, super.
Oh no, I can't bear to pull it out now. We've got to love. It's probably better than the engine in my other 3 cars. No. Bruce and Sean, have you ever seen one run that well? No, you haven't, have you?
It's not too bad for what 20 years of no running,
Yep. Beautiful.
and yeah.
These are when they really make cars well. If something fails in your Boxster gearbox, now I love Boxsters, but if something fails, you've got to get a whole new gearbox. You know, $28,000 because of one circuit. These things, good old-fashioned old school motor, you can actually rebuild. Love it. Now let's chuck it out and put an electric motor in it.
Well,
But let's let it idle for a bit longer. I just want to hear it running nicely, get it really up to temperature.
yeah.
Prop clear.
Just try again, Stuart. I almost think it was about to go there. Just let it try and idle.
Sorry, just
Just let it try and just idle.
Okay.
If you can.
wow. Idle's perfect. 850 RPM. So if you know anybody that needs a 4.7 litre, 300 horsepower, overhead cam, Porsche 928 motor, there it is, running like a pearl. Fresh oil.
Yeah, so that's about the cusp of
Yeah.
where it's happy. So whatever, that's I think it's about 45 or so.
4 bar.
0.4, sorry, that's MPA. Okay, we're out of fuel.
Aha.
There you go.
Hey.
Hear the-
And we got some temp in the engine too.
So the gauge works. That's
Yep.
great.
It all works. Fantastic.
Amazing how quick it just got into a nice happy idle.
Yeah.
It just settled into an idle, no misses. There was no noises. We got,
Not hunting up and down.
no, we got nice warmth in the motor.
I reckon next step, we should start at the back end and we'll drain out the bottom of the tank
Yep.
and actually reconnect it in standard configuration.
Yes.
Ignition, cranking.
Okay, nothing. We got nothing there.
No voltage.
We can always bridge the relay with a wire.
Yep.
Yep, go for it.
Power?
I got 7.5 volts.
7.5 volts. It's not normally enough.
It might trigger, because your other one only had about 10, I think, was it? It was a bit lower, but it was higher than this.
Oh, that's right.
Remember, it was a bit,
Yeah,
and it worked fine.
And that's the problem with these cars, the wiring, it
left
just,
down.
all those connectors between the battery to the front, to the fuse board, to the ignition switch,
Yeah.
back to the board again, back
Yep.
to here. By the time it gets down here, you got 7 volts,
That's
not
right.
12. Oh yeah, I felt the kick. Yeah, I get it. It's trying, but it's not working. Well, no surprise.
Yeah,
20
so-
years of gump in that tank. There's a really good chance it's going to
Yeah,
be
that's right.
stuck.
Yeah,
Clean it
that's
out,
right,
make it
so-
work. You're Mr. Fix-It. Why do you think I pay you the big bucks, buddy? Come on.
We're not worrying about fuel tanks, corrosion in the tank.
Yep.
What's the filter like?
And lo and behold, what did we find?
Bad wiring, a bad pump, you know, so...
Yep. So, brilliant. Unfortunately, even though masses of tread, 26th week 2001, 22-year-old tyres will be, even though they look good, will be useless, hard as nails. We'll keep them on for when we fire up the EV, and then we'll take it up the road, and it'll rain, and we'll wonder why the hell we've got so much wheel spin. Well done, Porsche, for designing such a beautiful motor.
Yeah.
Now let's chuck it in the bin and get a Tesla one. No! Hello, waspies. No wasps in there. This one, somebody thoughtfully pulled out the pre-pump that was in there and put in just a filter instead. Much better idea. Check that video that we did recently with Bruce to talk about why that is better. Even though we've got problems here, much better than the pre-pump. If you've got a 928 and it stops, this is one of the first things to look at. Manual gearbox. Yeah, bit of play there. A bit more play than you'd hope for. But hey, it's old. So imagine the space we're going to have for our electric vehicle. This is gone. This is gone. This cross member stays because that's structural and we need it. This fuel tank goes, battery box goes, muffler goes, exhaust goes. We've got so much space in here. We'll just put a Tesla motor, differential there. The engine, the motor, the electric motor goes behind it. It can mount to here and to the big chassis rail up the top here. That's the structural member.
Yeah. It's got to work.
Well,
we'll get it in there.
This is where he's cut his battery box out. And somebody's actually gone to the trouble of cutting that right out, welding that in, doing a really shitty job on this tidy up, and then almost created a short circuit as where the high current 12 volt lead here shorts to the frame, just the other side of that.
Look at, so that's the 12 volt power. Look at it, cable tied to the sway bar. So every time the sway bar goes up and down, the suspension and it rotates.
Yeah.
It's going to slowly, eventually wear through that insulation.
So that's an example of not brilliant engineering. And you had a perfectly nice clamp there of some kind, which is disintegrated. And instead of, no, I'll just cable tie it to the sway bar where it can go rub, 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 rub. And then...
No fuse between them.
To weld itself on.
Wouldn't want to be in the car.
No.
It'll
be a horrible noise. And then the next noise we'll hear will be the battery expanding and maybe exploding.
Don't want to think about it.
No. Little decisions have big outcomes. These things were so rusted they wouldn't turn. They were really locked solid, so I had to... something missing. Hey, what can we say? It's been emotional.
Until next time.
Bye-bye, Porsche. Next week, review of this thing, MG4. People say, if you want an electric car, why don't you just get one of these? You don't have to do all this. Just drive that thing. See you next time.
Bye-bye.